Hello everyone, my name is Ishan and welcome to the Race Monkey. So I finally have it, the Mercedes Benz EQA 250 Plus, a car that I hadn't driven in the first drive that happened a few days ago in Jaipur, but now I have it in the flesh and I've been driving it for the last 3 days. Now, this one in particular, which is sold in India, gets a 70.5 kilowatt hour battery with that front wheel drive system that produces 188 bhp and 385 newton meters of max torque. Mated to a single speed gearbox, this car is competing against the likes of the Volvo XC40/C40 and the BMW iX1, also the Kia EV6 with the all-wheel drive version. Now, all the competitors have a lot of good things, but Mercedes chose to be really humble with their overall configuration situation when it comes to the EQA. So there's a lot going for it, there's a lot which isn't. Let's talk about it in this video and let you know if you should really buy the EQA as your next luxury EV purchase. Let's start off with the exterior of the car. Now you get this massive EQ grille with small three-pointed stars that are engrossed all over the front fascia, and this massive Mercedes Benz logo in the middle, which is not illuminated, thank God. Then comes this headlight element over here with blue strip inside, which indicates that this is the EQ of the A class. Now the design of the headlamps and the grille differs from that you get in the GLA. Now this particular one is the AMG version because of the wheel configuration that you get, but you don't get the AMG bumpers as such. Now here you get 19-inch alloy wheels from AMG as standard on this top of the line version, which is stuck to 255/50 R19 tires, which are hard compounds. These are from Continental that you get as standard. Now from the side, it's typical GLA. In this EQA, there's not much difference. There is this Designo package paint that you get as an option. You get the hyacinth red and this mountain grey Magno, which essentially means that this is the matte paint. Massive EV charging lid over here where you get your DC charging ports on the right hand side of the car. That's huge. And at the back, you get the connected LED tail lamps, which again is a signature of the EQ cars. EQA 250 Plus badge over here. And this metal sill plate, which is strangely on the outside and not on the inside. Now, since we are at the back, that's a massive boot where I've kept my shoes. You get your charging bag over here, charging cable over here, you get your triangle over here, a few knickknacks, and that takes up a lot of space. You don't get a spare wheel in this car. You can opt for a space saver tire that is going to sit on top of the boot floor. That's about it about the exterior. Let's get on the inside and talk to you more about it. Here on the inside of the EQA 250 Plus, it's a similar affair as the GLA class on which the EQA is based. This essentially is the electric version of the GLA, and that means the cabin is going to be properly ergonomic. Now to start off with, you get the copper AC vents, which do signify that you are driving the electric EQA, and they look very premium and very beautifully finished with proper metal surrounds. Otherwise, the cabin is typical GLA with good amount of storage space everywhere and good quality of materials used all across the cabin. Now you get the MBUX screen, which gets wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and your typical customizable instruments display, which has all your data right in front of you. You also get a heads-up display, which is very clear and it's beautifully detailed. So everything inside this cabin is engineered and designed really well to make your daily life much easier. Now what differentiates this in terms of the overall packaging from the GLA is also these illuminated three-pointed stars, which do light up at night and do have different ambient light colors going through them. You also have fabric inserts in the centers of the seats, which do make your life much easier when it's properly hot, especially with the summers that we've had in New Delhi lately. So that's it about the front of the EQA. Let's get at the back seat and talk to you more about how the experience is there and is it any better than its competition. Now, here in the back seat of the EQA, things are typically like the GLA class. You've got ample enough knee room. I'm 5 feet 8 inches tall, and this seat has been positioned as per my driving style. There is good amount of recline as well, although this is a little upright for my liking. It is lesser upright than the Volvo C40 that it competes against, and there is good amount of headroom as well. You also have this massive twin panoramic sunroof, which does ingress in quite a lot of natural light, making this cabin look much lighter on the inside. You have nets for your magazine holders, no curtains at the back, massive central armrest with cup holders, but everything's all right. What really annoys me is that the floor is a little on the higher side, because the battery packs sit right below the floor, making my seating position a little cumbersome. Like, my position is a little knees up, which is not very comfortable for very long journeys. Although if you're my height, you'd be marginally comfortable. Any person above the height of 6 feet won't be comfortable here in the back seat for very long journeys. Now, out on the twisties, the EQA might not be the most exciting car to drive because A, it's front wheel driven, and B, the battery pack is right in the middle of the two axles, which means there's going to be tons and tons of understeer. Although there's an ESP system which does keep everything in place when you are driving with a more neutral pace, but when you're trying to be too crazy behind the wheel, and especially around the corners, the understeer is just uncanny. So you have to be careful. This is not an enthusiastic car, and you shouldn't drive it like an enthusiastic car either. Now, this entire hype around electric cars and being performance oriented is not something which amuses me. Yes, these cars go really quick. A lot of cars under 1 crore rupees are surplus of 400 horsepower, which is not surprising, but the problem lies in how they would stop. These cars are mostly 2 tons and above in their curb weight, and the braking systems aren't as well engineered as you would have in the ICE counterparts. Now, a lot of people in the comment section and on social media have been saying, oh, the EQA 250 Plus is so low on power, 188 horsepower is very close to the MG ZS EV. Why won't I buy the MG ZS EV? See, not everyone wants high performance, right? Not everyone's looking at something that is tingling their spines all the time or giving them orgasmic feeling all the time. Yes, there is a section of people who do that, but most of the people drive these luxury cars from point A to point B to go to work, to get their stuff done. And for that, the EQA makes perfect sense. It is quick enough in a way where it can also stop. You heard that right. Hear that again. It is quick enough and it's fast enough from where it can come to a stop in a safer way. If I'm driving at 160 kilometers an hour, which is the top speed of this car, which is also very illegal in India, to come to a standstill from that is much easier. And even when I'm accelerating like an absolute lunatic, the braking system on the EQA is very, very well engineered, and it does make me feel much safer. Not saying that the cars in its competition don't have good braking, but I know for a fact that this car does not go really fast. So it'll be easier to bring it down to a more nominal speed, which is much more confidence inspiring. So for whom is the EQA 250 Plus really for? There are these two sections of people that we're going to talk about. Number one are the people who really don't mind performance figures on paper. Yes, this competes against the Volvo C40 and the XC40, also the BMW iX1, which would decimate the EQA when taken on a drag race or even around the corners, because both those cars are all-wheel drive. This is front-wheel drive only. And those cars have almost double the performance figures over the EQA. But you have to understand, 90% of the times you would be driving the electric car in this segment within the city limits. So you're stuck in traffic, you're going through the highway, cruising at max to max about 100-120 kilometers an hour. And that is where the EQA excels. It's very comfortable, it's very, very well engineered, and you would never feel out of place while driving this car. Secondly, are the people who really want access to the brand image. Mercedes Benz really gives you the prestige and recognition on the road, and that massive Mercedes logo in the front really makes a difference when you take it to any social event or your office meetings. So both these people are really allured by the overall packaging of the EQA 250 Plus. That's it for now. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on our Instagram. Cheers.